And I even go to say being multicultural is an ism. Let's get started. Hello, Exotical Barbies. I want to talk about how you can benefit from being multicultural. I already talked about how you can be multicultural, but I also want to go a little bit deeper and further. Let's get started. So, one of the things is that especially like with the girls you see, the ladies, I'm sorry, you see in these videos and whatnot, they are beautiful, and they, a lot of them benefit from the isms of texture and featureism, all those type of things, beauty standards, whatever. But one of the things is that they have a fluid identity. What I mean is, like, for example, let's just use Beyonce. I think a lot of us know Beyonce has a fluid identity. She would go from singing the White House, you know, and then go in Texas and throw in her hat, Cowboy Carter. She has a fluid identity. Because of that, she has a wide fan base rather than just one particular fan base. And I want to discuss the difference between being monocultural, because I think a lot of people think they're multicultural and they're not. Monocultural and multicultural. Where you're monocultural, you almost center yourself around where you grew up with. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, like, for example, I'm using my example, or from what I've seen, the Black community. When you only just center yourself around that, I mean, that's okay if you like it, whatnot, but you're not going to give yourself a full range or full more opportunities. And because, well, I'm just only speaking for the Black community. If it's other communities, please let me know. Okay, I'm open to learning about these type of stuff. But they throw you in and out of Blackness, especially if you're light skinned, you're mixed, okay, you're monoracial that benefit from any of the isms. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say have a full voice range, so you won't feel as though you don't fit in. You feel as though like you're fluid enough where you don't feel like you need to fit in. If that makes sense. Another example of having a fluid identity is Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman, not only she's gorgeous and she's a phenomenal actress and she's very intelligent, she's used being multicultural by educating herself, which is why she went to school while acting. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, she learned languages. So not only that she's educated, she also know languages, and she speaks out for a women's advocate and for countries like Palestine. You know what I'm saying? So you can use those things to your advantage, okay? Because believe it or not, many people don't use their isms or use what their potential to open doors for them. And like Natalie Portman and like Beyonce, I think she sings songs in Spanish and whatnot, and she did a really good job with actually pronouncing them in that language and whatnot, to the point there she opened so many doors. You get what I'm saying here, rather than just that one door to that one community, if that makes sense. And I feel as though once you do that, you have you won't feel as though like, oh, they like, this is why for me, I'm using my potential as to create an environment where all exoticals can have a place where we can talk about this and stuff. I'm using my multicultural from what I learned about other cultures and my culture and the culture I grew up with and whatnot, till I can create a place where it's safe for us and we can discuss things and we can grow and benefit from what we have. You know what I'm saying? Another example of women that use their use being multicultural to their advantage is like Angelina Jolie. You know, as far as I'm concerned, she definitely tried to educate herself about characters that she is acting about, whatnot. So and have an understanding. So when she go on interviews and talk, like for example, girl interrupted, you know what I'm saying? And so when she gives an interview and whatnot, she's very, you could tell she used her research and whatnot. And also too, with her going to other countries and being humanitarian, you know, she definitely does her work and it shows. I'm not saying you have to be political. I'm not saying you have to stand up for people. I'm not saying any of these things, but I am saying you can use what you got to your advantage. You can use it. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is, for example, let's not even go political. Let's go like Adriana Lima. Adriana Lima is not only multiracial, she's multicultural, and she speaks different languages, you know, and not only that, she has a fluid identity where how should I say it? Many people know who she is. And that makes sense. She is how should I say, you really don't see her thrown in, thrown out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm using those examples because I know, like for me, when I was younger, we looked down upon to be multiracial and whatnot. I felt like unseen, didn't fit in, especially in the Black community and whatnot. And then I realized I need to create my own identity, you know, using what I know about myself, you know what I'm saying, and parts of me. And now I'm glad to say that I don't feel as though I need to fit in. I feel as though I created a community of other exotical Barbies, you know, and I feel as though I can, you know, really, like I really have what's it called, sense of identity, if that makes sense. And I feel like as though that the more I keep and learning about other people's cultures and embracing them and learning about them and you know using in my daily life sometimes it's so much better. Anyways, what do you think? Are you multicultural? Do you want to be multicultural? Are you trying to be? Have you seen it work in your favor? You know, because these being multicultural, I don't think you understand, it's a privilege. It is a privilege to be multicultural because not many people want to sit and learn about other people's cultures and races besides the fact of a stereotype unknowingly they have in their head about them. Many of them don't want to spend time a day learning of a language. You know, spend 5 to 45 minutes a day learning of a language. A lot of them don't want to spend time learning about parts of themselves, you know, called one and done. So I would definitely say it's a privilege. And then also too, the more you keep going, dive into it and whatnot, it open you more doors. And with that, many people, especially for example, in my case, where I noticed even for monoracial Black people that are multicultural, they get heat because they seen as quote unquote acting white or uppity for being multicultural. So, anyways, tell me your experience. Have you seen this? Have you felt this? What do you think? What you know? Bye. Exotical.